These two will battle again. Ace-3 versus Jack-8. Here's the first three. It's an ace-8 deuce. Nathan hitting aces.
Mine's a little low, I think. He'll get it back up.
That is Nathan, our short stack. Of course, B-Rab with close to 12 million. Brian Altman, two-time WPT champion with 9.8 million. The blinds are 60 and 120 with a big blind Andy of 120.
Have fun, guys.
You too, bud. Everyone keeps telling me that. Just have fun. Just have fun.
Pretty deep stacked final table here, Vince. As you said, Nathan is our short stack, but even on his quote-unquote short stack, he has 33 blinds, so plenty of play.
Andrew Hanna, former waiter, goes out. And there's Bin Wing from China. He's gonna make a raise. B-Rab out. There's Brian Altman, two-time WPT champion, looking around. And he's gonna go out. So Tony, the only one to beat is Nathan, the short stack. And he will make the call.
And because Nathan is the short stack, he actually gets to play the most freely and take the most risk in an attempt to chip up. There's less penalty if he gets eliminated.
Flop is a king, deuce 5, so Nathan getting a pair of deuces. Bin Wing is gonna make the continuation bet 200.
Nathan will continue with his bottom pair.
This is Nathan's first WPT cash. He's got to be excited. 8 of clubs. He's out of Michigan, now lives in San Antonio, and he's going to check again.
Nice bet from Bin here. A lot of players with ace-high might check back this neutral 8 on the turn. Bin recognizing that Nathan is going to have a lot of deuces and 5s there and likely can bluff him out with a second barrel. Gets away with one there.
Be careful with your cards.
Oh, you guys.
I didn't see them, but I could tell when I looked over that I could have saw them if I...
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Like, I stack them this way, so, like, you kind of have a barrier with...
Okay.
So he's got the right idea. He knows. I'm always looking for an edge.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today with this QR code and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
All right, action going to Andrew Hanna. Lives in Jersey, age 32 years old. Gonna quickly muck this. Bin gonna take a break. There's our chip leader, V-Rab, and he's going out. And there's one of the hottest players on the circuit today. Brian Altman, two-time WPT champion, elects to fold.
Over to Nathan.
He will call it with a 7-4 clubs.
James checks his 10-6 in the big blind. And go to this flop heads up.
It's a king 7-4.
Big flop for Nathan with bottom 2 pair, but James hasn't connected at all. So unlikely that Nathan gets any real action here as James drops out.
Oh boy, that's gotta be disappointing for our short stack Nathan. Flopping 2 pair with junk, but James wisely gets out of the way. All right, the blinds now are gonna move up to 75, 125 with the big blind ante of 125. Actions on Altman, quick fold by him. Nathan going out, Anderson out.
All right, will I V-pip a hand?
Well, Andrew, wondering if you will V-pip a hand, an acronym that stands for voluntarily put money into the pot.
Oh, a lot of fancy talk there.
I agree. Usually you don't want to announce to the table that you're taking things so seriously. But Andrew, a little bit of running inner monologue to the whole table. Now facing a 3-bet. Bin attacking out of the small blind with king-9 suited here.
Wow, good field by Bin. Gonna quickly take this pot.
Now, Bin is supposedly an amateur trying to emerge as a professional, but thus far, he looks like a well-prepared one here today. Here's a look at our payout, $674,000 up top. And you get your name on the Mike Sexton Champions Cup.
Second place, close to $450,000. Big bucks at stake here tonight. Nathan, very active so far early on. Jack 10 here. And he will fold it. James Anderson, Queen 8, and he will put in a raise of 275 total. Andrew with the King 10 of hearts.
800.
And the former waiter says, let's move it up to 800 to go.
I like this 3-bet Vince. Andrew with a hand that can mix between calling and re-raising has elected to 3-bet James. Create an aggressive dynamic. And drive James out of this pot.
Andrew Hanna, 32 years old, cash game player, only has career earnings of $126,000.
And that happens sometimes. Guys who spend their career concentrating on cash don't rack up a lot of tournament wins and records. But then if they find themselves deep in an event, they have an A game that they can tap into from all the experience.
He will fold. Bin Wang also going out.
D-Rab gonna make a raise up to $250,000. Brian gives him the side eye and then passes on King 3. Nathan, with 6s in the small blind here, has a decision. He's a little under 30 blinds. These small and medium pairs often play as shoves in this situation, but sometimes at a final table, you don't want to put everything on the line, just a few hands into the action. Now the action clock is ticking down on Nathan Russler. There goes one of his time bank chips to extend his thoughts here for about 30 seconds.
On.
He's gonna go all in. Anderson goes out, back on the chip leader. Oh,
V-Rab not quite strong enough to make the call there. He drops out with ace-jack, so a nice shove from our short stack Nathan Russler, and that'll chip him up back around 30 blinds.
we are just getting started, but these players are tougher to beat than a slot machine at a Vegas gas station.
Before he go on in, 30 seconds was time's up, and then new 30 seconds was countdown before he say all in.
He's gonna remember that you called him out on that.
And it's on Brian. He's electing to fold. Now, Nathan with ace 3. Gonna make a raise to 250 to go. James Anderson going out.
A little bit of a loose open from Nathan here on the cutoff. So far, he's going to get away with it. Over to Ben in the big blind. And he peeks down at Jack 8. So he's going to a flop.
These two will battle again. Ace 3 versus Jack 8. Here's the first 3. It's an ace, 8, deuce. Nathan hitting aces. Bin with 8s. Check bet, 175.
This is a board where Nathan, as the pre-flop raiser, will be betting close to every time. And so, of course, Ben, with the Jack 8 not going anywhere, makes the call. And 2 pair on the turn for Nathan. Plus, it puts a second flush draw on the board. So easier for Ben to imagine that Nathan is barreling on a draw here. However, Ben has a hand that blocks a lot of the draws that Nathan could have, in particular with the Jack of Spades.
Doesn't believe him. He's gonna pay him off 575 here, going to the river.
And the Queen of Spades lands. So if Ben ever wanted to turn his hand into a bluff here, he's gonna have the opportunity.
Too late for that now. He has checked, and Nathan has got to feel very confident. Bets 875. Finally, Bin gets out of the way, so a nice pot there for Nathan Rustler. He is married, he has 2 kids. His wife, Leanne, he says, is his rock, very supportive. And good things are happening for Nathan Rustler at this point. That's gonna sting for Bin Wang. Gave up a lot of chips there.
Yeah, Bin got a little stuck in with his second pair on the draw-heavy board there.
On to Brian Altman, who finally picks up a real hand. Pair of jacks for the 2-time WPT champ.
250.
You heard it, 250 to go.
Brian has a very steady manner at the table. Never reacts too much, paces himself, thinks things over.
Everybody going away. Now it's up to Anthony Hopkins from Silence of the Lambs, so to speak, with the pair of 4s. I love that mask, though. I love it. I'm getting one of those.
Bin will make the call here with the 4s, and VRAB with ace-7 suited in the big blind. Will come along, so 3 ways going to this pot.
Let's go to the flop. It is a queen-9 deuce. So Brian with the jacks, hoping that no one's checking a queen on him. Gonna put out the continuation bet, it appears.
400.
I'm a little surprised by Brian's sizing here, but neither opponent has much to continue with, and that bet will chase them both out. Pocket jacks for Brian Altman, take down his first pot of the final table.
He's had 25 cashes on the World Poker Tour, and it's his 4th final table. He is impressive.
I said, oh, they don't have espresso? Coffee, splash of cream.
2-time champion looking for his 3rd at just his 4th final table. Impressive stuff.
Back on Nathan, he quickly folds his hand. James out, Andrew's gonna look down. 8-3. Nope. And now we're into Bin. He's got a nice queen jack of diamonds. He was born in China. He moved to the United States at the age of 18. Gonna make it 250 to go, but VRAB right behind him with a king-10.
Raise.
He's gonna raise it.
I like this 3-bet, Vince. VRAB is our chip leader, holding a hand in the small blind. Can play as either a call or a 3-bet, but I think in this position, it pays dividends to put pressure on your shorter stacked opponents. So a call from Bin with the queen jack of diamonds and a nice looking flop on queen 9-8, 2 clubs and a diamond. VRAB, pretty good board for him as well. The overcard, the club backdoor, and the gut shot. We'll bet $500,000. That is quickly called by Bin. 8 of spades on the turn could slow things down, as that's more likely to connect with Bin than VRAB.
1.6.
But he is undeterred and will now bet $1.6 million.
He doesn't slow down. Significant bet, and of course, Bin's not going anywhere. Top pair, straight draws. Let's see if he can connect. He's in front so far. VRAB needs some help. And he gets the help as a king hits on the river, hitting VRAB.
VRAB thinking about betting, but how much? He wants to get called by a queen, so he can't bet too big. Goes with $2 million.
Wow.
So a little under 3rd pot here, essentially a blocker bet from VRAB, and as you can see, it is perfectly sized to make Bin perplexed about whether he should call. He's getting 4-1 here, but now senses that it's hard for his queen to be good.
There's an ice pick in the brain right there. He knows it, he feels it. I mean, this is frustrating. You're in front all the way. You don't take a stab with a raise to possibly get the guy out. You play okie dokie, and now it's probably gonna backfire. He's gonna take more time. Take a lot of discipline to make the drop, and he's gonna do it. Nicely done.
Nice hand from both players there. Bin getting 4-1 on the river, escapes. And V-Rab, our chip leader coming in, continues to
The
stack.
newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today with this QR code and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
As we go back to the action, quick fold by Nathan and James.
250.
And Andrew likes his king 10 of spades. Makes it 250 to go. Into Ben, who has a pair of sixes. He will just call it. V-Rab going out. Altman can't make much happen this evening so far. Buys his time, goes away, so.
A little surprised that Brian folded Jack-9 in the big blind. So heads up to this 10-8-5 flop with 2 spades.
This is a great flop for Andrew. Top pair, 4 flush, Tony.
And a nice check. Despite the strength of his hand, this is a flop that will favor the in-position player. Andrew, recognizing that, doesn't get too excited, just checks over to Ben. And gets a bet out of him with a hand that is drawing extremely thin here.
Call.
Just an okie dokie call by Andrew. Out in front with flush possibilities. As we go to the turn. It's a 6. What a card for Ben. Hitting 3 of a kind. Andrew checking.
What a dream card for Ben. And disaster for Andrew here. He believes he's the one trapping right now. But as we know, Ben just needs to fade a spade, and he's gonna win a nice pot.
775.
Call. 775, right?
Andrew calling, loving his position. He's got to feel pretty good about this. Little does he know what's behind that mask. And the river card, nothing. Queen of hearts. So he doesn't get his flush. He's going to check again.
That is maybe a river that will allow Andrew to escape,
1.6.
as it does improve a lot of the hands that Ben would be betting with, such as Jack-9, Queen-Jack. So a murky decision for Andrew. Let's see if he can get away from this one, or after checking on all 3 streets, feels a little married to his hand. Well, Andrew's gonna use a time chip.
Yeah, this is tough. But you've been so involved, you're getting curious. Is this guy bluffing me?
And on the flop and turn, you felt so good about your hand, it can be tough to suddenly change gears and drop out on the river when it feels like you had him the whole time.
Clock is going to tick again. Will he take another time chip? Yes, he does. And he's going to make this call and hate himself in the morning.
What's that?
Okay.
That's gonna be a painful one. Ben, with the turn set, drags one of the biggest pots of the night.
And Andrew, thinking it over.
You could see the pain on his face.
6 tough competitors here. Waited a long time to get to this final table because of COVID, and now they're here. What are they going to do? Who will be the champ? And a couple folds, and now Brian Altman. He won't play this. Nathan with a 10-3 of diamonds likes it and makes it 250 to go. James Anderson. I'll tell you something, James, with what he's wearing and everything, it kind of looks like the villain in a James Bond movie. You know, Tony, a little bit?
The one where James Bond plays poker, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
know the guy you're talking about, yes. He has a little bit of that vibe going on, especially if you were to start bleeding from the eye. That would really do it.
That's right. Oh, I've seen that happen in a game before.
I'm sure you have.
Ace-4, he's gonna raise to 950.
Now, maybe James saw Nathan bleeding from his eye because he is attacking this button raise where Nathan is getting a little out of line with his 10-3 suited. James widening his range from the small blind, 3-bets the Ace-4. And this timing should work out for him. Nathan gonna have to drop out.
Yep, so good work by James Anderson. Full-time poker pro, loves to bowl. Total earnings in the poker world, $2.6 million on paper. That is impressive. Now the blinds are going up to 75, 150, with the big blind ante of 150 as well. And action's on. Nathan, who's got the Motown hand, Jack 5, goes out. James out as well. Now it's on to Andrew. He's on the short stack, looks at a pair of deuces.
Close decision here on about 15 blinds for Andrew.
All in.
Wow.
He is gonna go for it here, hoping to not get called.
Right, the former waiter says, here's your check. And V-Reb is gonna take a look at a pair of 10s. Now Brian's also in this, so he's thinking how to play this with an extra man. Otherwise, it's a snap call, of course.
That's right. V-Rab is definitely going to continue. It's just a matter of whether he calls or shoves.
Clock is ticking down.
Call.
He's just gonna call saying, Brian, if you want to play, I'll let you. But nope, Brian going out, so they turn up the cards, deuces versus 10s.
He has got Andrew dominated. Just 2 outs for Andrew.
Guzzling that last bit of alcohol.
Yeah, I'll get it while it's free.
That's right. He wants to get lucky with a deuce. Can he get it? No, a 10 instead.
Not good.
That will pretty much clinch it for V-Rab here. Andrew, barring a miraculous runner, we'll see if he can find a deuce on the turn. No, and that's gonna be it. Andrew Hanna, our 6th place finisher. Nice run, big cash here, but unfortunately couldn't make it happen at the final table.
V-Rab knocking out Andrew Hanna. Let's see what Andrew has to say.
Didn't go my way. Not sure about the King 10 hand. Just didn't really get much going. The deuce's shove is marginal, but I think being the short stack, it's okay. So